Hi everyone, I'm Mira Frisch. I teach cello at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and I'm here at D'Addario today, and we're going to be working in this video on extended hand position. The first thing I want to tell you is that a lot of people think an extension is just any time we play a low one or a high four on the cello, and that's actually not correct. An extended hand position is so simple. All it means is that we're going to place a whole step between 1 and 2, and we're going to make sure that our thumb is behind second finger. So in a regular closed hand position, the kind that we all learn with in the very beginning, all our fingers sit a half step apart on the fingerboard, and thumb, as you know, is behind second finger. In an extended position, all we're going to do is just place a whole step between 1 and 2. That's all we do. So there's two kinds of extensions. There's the backward and the forward extension. And we get to them in different ways, and that's why they have a different name, but the end result is always the same. It's just a hand position where 1 and 2 lie a whole step apart, other fingers still remain a half step apart, and thumb is always behind 2. So we're going to work on the backward extension first. I'm going to set my hand on the D string in a closed position, and I'm going to make a backward extension. This is the easiest one, that's why we're going to learn it first. All I do is I bring my left elbow forward slightly while I straighten and point my first finger back towards the scroll so that I now have a whole step between 1 and 2, but my other fingers have remained nice and curved, and I've got just a half step between them. Thumb stays in position, so thumb is still right behind 2. Now I can play 2 descending whole steps on the cello without an open string. G, F, E flat. That's a backward extension. I'll put my hand back in the closed position, and now we're going to learn a forward extension. Remember, the end result is going to be an identical hand position to what we just did. The only difference is how we get there. So a forward extension is a little bit more complicated. We have to lift 3 fingers just slightly above the fingerboard, and also our thumb. Thumb comes off the back of the fingerboard just slightly, and then we're going to use first finger as a pivot. We bring the elbow forward as in the backward extension, and first finger pivots and straightens. Second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and thumb move down the fingerboard towards the bridge a half step, so that now second finger is on the third finger tape, third finger is on the fourth finger tape, and fourth finger is able now to play a half step higher than in a regular closed position. Now, a lot of you may be learning extensions and you may not have tapes on your cello anymore, and that's perfectly fine. You should absolutely do whatever your teacher tells you to do. I kept the tapes on my cello so that you'd be just more easily to see my hand position. So now on a forward extension, I'm going to be able to play 2 descending whole steps, or ascending whole steps, with I shouldn't call it a high fourth finger, but I'll say that so that you know what I mean, with a G sharp on the D string. And back up, E, F sharp, G. So I've got my forward extension position, whole step between 1 and 2, thumb behind the third finger tape, right across from my second finger, and I've got half steps between 2 and 3 and 3 and 4. Remember that it's really important to keep all your fingers curved. A lot of times in either a backward or a forward extension, we reach back with the whole hand, and then fourth finger just becomes really straight and tight. So make sure always fourth finger is curved and first finger does the reaching, either in a backward or a forward extension. So I hope you found that helpful. Be sure to show your teacher in your orchestra classroom or your private teacher what you're working on. Don't do extensions until your teacher tells you that you're ready. And I hope you found this video very helpful.